Namaskaram. This is Dr. Vinay Bajrangi, and I welcome you all on my channel, that is Vinay Bajrangi Live. This channel is especially for those who have an interest or a small amount of interest in astrology. I would like to break all the stereotype myths and all the negative things that are associated with astrology. And today, I will come up with a very interesting subject for you all, and that is birth time rectification. Yes, birth time rectification. What is that? You may be knowing your date of birth. All of you must be knowing. Yeah. And most of you must be understanding and knowing the time of birth even. But that may not be correct. Those who are assured that, yeah, this is the time of birth and my hospital discharge certificates has that written, or those whose relatives, they have noted down their date of birth, that time of birth may still not be correct. And understand one thing, if the time of birth is not correct, you are not going to get the correct chart. Now, I have seen many people arguing on that. They say that my time of birth was this, and at that point of time, the ascendant was at, say, 10 degrees or 15 degrees. So, what does that matter if I go 10, 15, 20 minutes ahead or 10, 20, 50 minutes before? The ascendant does not change. That means the chart does not change. So, what does it matter when the chart is not changing? Here, I would just like to tell you all people that the chart you are referring to, all those people who refer to that chart is the D1 chart or the Lagna chart or the natal chart. Understand one thing, that the Lagna or the D1 chart may not change, but the other charts, the finer charts, where the precision has to be more, like 9 minutes or 10 minutes or say 2 minutes. If your birth time is flawed, the finer charts, we may get them wrong. The chart to which you are referring to is the D1 or the birth or the natal chart. And many astrologers see at that chart only. And that chart does not change for approximately 2 hours. That means all the natives born in that span of 2 hours will have the same chart. Yes, they would have. But understand one thing, that the finer charts are even more important than the D1 chart. By the finer chart, I mean the other divisional charts, the D2 chart, the Hora chart, the D7 chart, D9, the Navamsh chart, D10, the Dashmansh chart, D12, D15, D60, D30. These are the charts, for which we refer for a particular area in which you would like to ask. For example, you are not satisfied with the job you are doing, or you are not satisfied with your married life, for that example, or say you are not still married. Then, yes, we will look at the D1 chart, but that will not give us the correct answer. We'll have to dig deeper. We'll have to go to the finer chart, and that is the D9 chart, if we have to look for your marriage. And if you have noted your time of birth wrong, then probably the D9 chart will be flawed and thus our prediction. Say that you have noted, or probably you have been told that your birth time is from 3 o'clock to 3:15 at a particular day. In these 15 odd minutes, the ascendant of D9 chart will change 4 times. The ascendant of D10 chart will change 4 times. The ascendant of D60 chart will change 13 times. So if I have to evaluate your success, I should have your correct D60 chart. That means I should have the correct time of birth, because every 1.5 minutes, that means every 90 seconds, the D60 chart changes. If I have to look at your love life or your married life, I have to have the correct D9 chart. And the correct D9 chart or the D9 chart changes every 7 to 8 minutes. And what about if I have to look at your professional life? That means I will have to look simultaneously at D10, D12, D15 and D60. D10 chart changes every 70 seconds. That means that if you are living in that illusion that the chart does not change 15-20 minutes here and there, that means the person who is looking at your horoscope or you yourself are not very versed with all the tools what we have in astrology. Mind you one thing also, that every few minutes the position of nakshatra also changes. The Chandrama or the moon changes its degrees in nakshatra, and the position in nakshatra gives or tells us about the dasha. If the dasha is not right, then how could one predict the correct sequence of events in your life? I have this kind of impression that most of us who believe in astrology, and they are learning astrology, just carry their D1 chart. And my dear friends, this is not sufficient. That will give you a very varied and a flawed result. And mind you, that when you have got a flawed or a result, that does not match with the actual event of life, then what will happen? You will have a negative image about astrology. So, what should be done? What we should do to solve our problems? Is there any tool? Yes, there is a tool. And the tool, we name it as rectification of birth chart or synchronization of birth time. Who can do it? A person who is well versed with this technique, who is well versed in this techniques, plus if he is able to put your significant events of life which have already happened into the horoscope, he is just capable of doing it. First of all, he will put all those events. First of all, he will take the life events of yours, like when did you get married, when did you get your first job, when did you, go to school the very first time, or when did you graduate, or other events, other important events of your life, like a childbirth or a death in a family. He'll just jot down all those details and then he will put it in the birth chart and see whether the time which you told is fitting or not. He will change the birth time accordingly. And then he will cast the other final charts. Like he will go for the D9 chart and then he will fit all those significant events in the D9 chart and correct your birth child to 9 minutes or 8 minutes. And then he will put in D12 chart and see whether those events are fructifying in the chart. He will adjust the time to the nearest of 4 minutes. And then say, if the birth chart, if he's not able to get the correct birth chart, once the horoscope is synchronized or rectified for 4 minutes, then those events are put into D60 chart. And the horoscope or the time is rectified to 1 minute. This is not an easy job. It is a cumbersome job. And it will take the expertise, the knowledge, and the time and patience of the astrologers along with you. So, if you are wondering that I was told these events in my life, but they have not happened, or there is a particular yoga in my horoscope and that has not blossomed, then probably your time of birth is not right. You should be rectifying the time of birth. I would like to add a few more things here, and you have to beware about it. For example, you are studying in class 10th and you have to select the subjects, and those subjects are to be seen from D60 chart or D30 chart. Now, if your time is not correct, then that chart will not be correct, and the astrologer will guide you for some subjects, for those subjects which are not good or not beneficial for you. For example, you are going for marriage and the horoscope is matched. Mind you, horoscope matching is not only matching of D1 charts. Watch my other videos and they will give you a complete insight into how to match horoscopes with finer charts. If you are not having the right chart or the right D9 chart, the horoscope won't match, or you will just guide, or you will be guided by that astrologer for a negative kind of thing. Astrology will be defeated over there. If you are to choose between job or a business, then, and you're not having the correct birth time or a flawed one, that means your D10 and D12 chart cannot be fabricated. They cannot be made. So, whosoever gives you his vision on what your job or business or etc. should be, he is not doing justice. I would want you people to understand that looking at a horoscope does not mean that you have to look at the D1 chart only. It is a skeleton kind of thing. You will have to dig deeper, you'll have to go deeper, and for that you have to have the correct birth time. So, I call upon you all people who are convinced that their time of birth is right, who are convinced that the horoscope what they have in their hand is right, to just drop over by Bajrangi Dham and visit me. I will just see whether the events that have gone past by in your life, do they match? And that is the true measure or true evaluation of an astrologer. It is very, very easy to predict the future because it is yet to happen. Those astrologers who can really gauge the horoscope for its past and crucial parts in, he is having the correct capabilities. So, whenever you present your horoscope in front of anyone, just ask him few very important events of your life. If he's able to tell you, then be assured of two things. Firstly, he is looking at the correct horoscope because the time is right. And secondly, he is the right astrologer because he knows how to look at all those final horoscopes, which are very essential to time the events and take you back in the time. So, by this YouTube video, I was wanting you all to understand the importance of birth time rectification. It is not very easy to rectify birth time. Even the most experienced astrologer may find it difficult to rectify the birth time because it is a very cumbersome and painstaking job. But still, I'll give you a tip and insight into how to rectify the birth chart. The position of moon in the charts, any chart, is very important to understand the event in the life. For example, let us take your D9 chart and look at the position of moon. And we find, after looking at the chart, the moon is in the 7th house, for example, and it is in the Aries sign, right? So we can understand by the degrees of the traversed moon that when that event happened relating to moon in the 7th house. 7th house is for marriage, it is for partnership, it is for spouse. So that particular time signifies your marriage or beginning of a partnership or a overseas assignment, because that is also the secondary house for your profession. See, you may not be able to understand it completely, but this is just an insight. All those who are doing some kind of research work are they are welcome, to post queries. I will be very happy to answer you all. Kindly start subscribing to my channel, Vinay Bajrangi Live, so that whatever releases I do, and I'll try to do at least 2 releases in a week, you get them very promptly. If you really like this videos, you can have 2 options also. You can like these and you can share them even. I'll be very grateful. So for today, it's all over from birth time rectification. I have also posted this in my blog, that is vinaybajrangi.com/blog. You can go and have a read of it, feel of it, post some comments over there so I know that my post is kicking, right? Have a nice time. Jai Bajrang Bali.